Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. That is beyond long.
Look at this. He's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to week 12 on the PGA Tour season. The American Express out west in Cali. Good tourney last week. Love the Hawaiian swing. Get to watch some night golf. Get a little bit of night golf here, not as late as we were getting last week. We were driving back from the Dallas game Sunday, and the Chiefs-Steelers game, although interesting in the first quarter, it went downhill quickly. So was able to watch the last several holes of Matsu and Henley battling down the stretch. Really didn't even think to look at it because the last time I looked in the stadium at it, they were making the turn basically, and Henley had a 5-shot lead. And I was like, man, that's pretty much over. And Gooch was doing okay. Only outright I had a chance on was doubling up I had Matsu, Gooch 1-2. I think Gooch finished 27th or something like that. But wanted to see Matsu win. Had plenty of him in DraftKings, just not enough around it. Had a great round two, 4x my money on the showdown, pretty much covered everything for the full week. Maine was about the same as last week. Like I'm liking the process. I like the moves I'm making. I just hadn't got it all together yet. Had some close ones, had some good ones there going into Sunday. Didn't really, move into anything. My 3-max stuff, had one lineup that did well up in the, all the leagues and stuff like that. Main bullet lineup did not, I didn't put Matsu in it, even though I sit there and thought about it. I actually didn't play any of the 10K in the bullet lineup, but, it is what it is. It was a good tournament. Enjoyed it. Betting matchups kind of saved the week. Went 8-3-1 on matchups. No real first round leader split. I don't believe so. I can't remember who all was there. Like I said, had some Matsu and Quinellas, but nothing there yet. 0-for-2 so far on the outrights after the big start in the fall swing. See if we can get it going this week. Some shout outs to the community. Jonas 137 had about a 6x week, plus some high finishes up in the Listener League, and I think he's in the Carbon Cup and did well there. Hutchings 07 had nice hits. Looks like he had over 1K in winnings just from what I saw. Samson 24 had another nice round 4 hit in showdown. If you missed some of the announcements last week, he will be joining the team to handle some of the golf stuff. Excited for that. Jimbo 2 weeks ago announced him joining the NASCAR team, and then made a big announcement on Saturday involving Gups Corner, myself, and some things. If you want to go check that out, you can scroll through the beginning stuff, get to the end of the pod. It's not too long, and get caught up on all of that. Promos right now, Smash, get you 20% off any package. You get another 4 games this weekend for NFL. Last weekend was a very, very chalky weekend. 5 of the 6 favorites won and covered fairly easily outside of the Bengals. And the biggest dog bet of the week was the 49ers. So the books got hammered, needless to say. Kind of put a tweet out last night saying, be cautious this week. Not many times you see Vegas get hammered back to back. Be interesting to see how those things shake out. Well, we'll have that covered. I'll probably see if Ryan wants to do a little just overall pod, either Thursday or Friday, talking about the rest of the teams left in the playoffs, how we see it going out, talk a little bit about both of the 2-game slates. And I'm sure typically the night games have been the bigger showdown. So I'll have my showstoppers out for both of them this weekend. Then we have UFC pay-per-view on Saturday. Of course, golf covered all this week, and then showdown every single night. NBA going daily, and then we're just right around the corner from NASCAR firing up. Really excited for that. Got, I'm biased, but I think one of the best, if not the best, NASCAR coverage in the industry, and looking forward to this year. Millie Maker, first time ever for the Daytona 500, so that's going to be exciting. I've seen a lot of guys in the GC Warrior room playing a lot of these satellites, banking up those 20 or $25. I think it's $25 tickets. That'll be some fun once we turn in February as well. Rate and review on iTunes. If you are just getting back into the swing of things, I'm going to give away a diamond level upgrade on your basically Crown Rewards, the new reward system for DraftKings. Being the level I am, I get to give one away. You get 3 months of it. So I want to give that away around the Super Bowl. So you'll have it for February, March, and April. You get, the NASCAR play, you get Masters, you get all that at that level. I think it's 30% boost on your crown, so that'll be fun. Anybody that's rating and review us, I pull those off, keep them in a sheet. Go do that. If you hadn't remembered or hadn't done it in a while, just do it for the fun of it. Subscribe and like this video. Subscribe to us on YouTube and like this video. In the comment section, tell me who you want to play in the 9K range. Really liking it, to me, and I went back and looked at several last year. Seems like DK taking a little bit different algorithm approach on the pricing. Only 4 in the 10K this week, and we get, I think, 7, 8 in the 9K. So really making some of those builds a little bit different, which I like. I mean, I don't mind that at all. And probably does the ownership a little bit, because you tend to, if you have 5 or 6 up there, you'll tend to have, like last week it was Matsu, but then I think we only had 4 or 5 last week because Bryson dropped out. There's just 4 there. So I do like that. I like the 8 and the 9K, but that range is going to be peppered a lot of good names in there. Tell me who your favorite play is in the 9K. That'll get you into the diamond drawing. I'll be doing some giveaways as well. If you go look at my Twitter, make sure you retweet my pinned tweet. Leave a comment on that. I'm about 250 or so away, I believe, from hitting 10K followers. Once I hit that, there's a picture in that tweet of a bunch of stuff I'm going to give away, including some master gear. So go do that for me. Appreciate that. Listener League is in the description. Back to we're doing 300 this week. This week I was gonna ask to bump it because we've been doing well filling it, but I think I'll wait till maybe next week because some people don't get fired up about the old 3-course rotation and pro-am and all that. So let's fill that up quickly. I'll ask for a bump for next week, and then we'll get rolling. Heading towards first big weekends, probably that most people is the waste management, which most of the time correlates with the Super Bowl. Last week's winner, our boy OG John. LV Big Blue on DK, 646 points. Kind of a build I talked about these last 2 weeks where you can eat some chalk, be fine with it, just get a little bit different. Had Connors, Kisner, Power, CH3, Kuchar, and Knox. Kuchar 1.4%, Knox 1.7%. Hopefully he threw that into a couple other contests and had a good week for himself. I will send him the invite for the League of Champion finale at the end of the season as well. Course preview, as always, be sure to go check out the website. Kenny Kim's full breakdown on there for our premium members. He also does a little breakdown on his podcast, Fantasy DGen, if you want to check it out. We are back in Cali, so we get a little bit later start again. We won't have to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning making sure there's no withdrawals yet. 3 courses. Last year during the COVID stuff, they went to a 2-course rotation. Play the stadium course 3 rounds, typical cut T65 at the on a Friday, so weekend cut. Everything was like a normal tournament last week, or last year. I'm sorry. This year we're back to the 3-course rotation, pro-am, 54-hole cut. So keep that in mind. Definitely comes into play when building. Not that you still don't want to get 6 of 6, but it isn't as imperative that you do, and especially depending on who's missing out the cut. We got the Nicholas Tournament course, La Quinta Country Club Stadium course, which they will play 2 rounds on. So they'll play one of those 3 courses Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then everybody will play the stadium course again on Sunday after the cut. I believe it's T60 after the cut on this one, since it's a 54-hole cut, but I'll double check that before I do the Cup with Gup later on today. All courses ranked, some of the easiest on tour. The stadium one, where most people will focus because they play it 2 times, and you get strokes gain data. It is a Pete Dye track, Bermuda green, small greens, trouble to be had, just like any typical Pete Dye. Comes down to that second shot, hitting those key spots on the course off your tee shot to make sure you have a go at it. As long as you're doing that, I don't say it's easy. PDOT courses are difficult, but definitely, you can score here. We've seen that each and every year. Weather looks absolutely picture perfect right now. It's going to be a beautiful week. I got the cut around -9. I know that seems kind of crazy at first, but remember it's a 3-day cut. And then I got the winner around -24 right now. Last few years, we've seen -23, 26, 26, 22, 20, 25, 22. So right in that mid-20 number seems to be pretty typical. If you do go back and look at some course history stuff, just remember last year they did play Stadium 3 times as opposed to 2. Siwoo won it, beat Patrick Cantley by 1 stroke. We had Landry the year before. Adam Long, Rahm, Swafford, Duffner, Reed have all won. Some runner-ups: Answer, Mickelson, Landry again. Back in 2015, you had a 5-way tie for second. Hoffman, Kuchar in there, Palmer, CH3. So kind of all over the place. No, like for sure. Really, probably comes down to who's got hot irons and can make some putts out here. And when you get up to that minus in the 20s, you're going to need that no matter what. Stats for me this week, I'm looking at good drives, par 5 DK scoring, birdie or better, scoring opportunities inside 18 feet, and accurate approaches, as well as obviously recent form, course fit, and Bermuda putting stats all mixed in there. New to the course since 2016, 36 of these guys have not played in this tournament. Be interested to listen to Kenny on his pod. I know he talks about that some on, does it matter if you're new to here, not fully grasping how the whole pro-am may go, especially if you're young on tour, and do you have patience, stuff like that. I know, we saw the deal with Gooch last week on Nah. The funny thing is he's always played well here. He's made the cut all 4 years. First year, a little shaky. Then he's finished top 20 or better the last 3 years, including a 4. Top 21 or better, including a 4. So, that's all anecdotal, I guess, unless we just know someone just absolutely hates playing these pro-am deals. Even if you're trying to get it off your rotation list, to come out here, you have to play 3 rounds. So I don't put a lot of weight into that unless someone just continuously. But there's a lot of these guys that'll go miscut, 21st, 6th, miscut, 18th. So the course fit probably a tick down for me a little bit, especially because you get 3 different courses. And on the other 2 courses, we only have the strokes gained total, which is going to take putting and tee to green in. Of course, the stadium will have all the stats. So it's a little bit harder to dissect all that. Most of it's really just from my notes and stuff from watching a lot, especially being West Coast, you get that evening golf to watch. Salary ranges this week, like I mentioned, 4 in the 10K, 8 in the 9K, 11 in the 8K, 41 in the 7K, and 89 in the 6K. What is that? 130. I think we got 156 right now. So 83%-ish of the field is 7,900 or less. It's kind of crazy because a lot of times we'll, instinctively we'll put so much time into the 23 guys in the 8, 9, and 10K. When for the most part, it's going to come down to where do you hit right on the lower end. You can build some teams staying above. You'd have to have almost all 8K, maybe 5 8K, 1 9K type of deal. But there's some good guys here I like in the 7 and 6K. And one thing, I talked about this a little bit in the off, kind of swing offish, is that one mentality that I'm taking, and I've talked about some, is the 75 to 150th golfer in this field in 2022 compared to 2013, 2014, massively different, so much better. Just think of all the stuff that's enhanced, not only in technology, all that kind of stuff, but these guys, it's a different breed of guys that, truly, and I won't say the guys before weren't as good, but you got a lot of good athletes, young players, not only coming out here, but doing well when they get here. And obviously we know all the big names, Hovland, all that, but guys like Davis Riley, Taylor Moore, Ramey, these guys are making cuts, doing good things. Or right there, even if they do miss a cut, so they're live to be up there, and probably not as valuable in the betting market. Maybe get some top 20s type stuff, but in a DraftKings lineup where you got to get, trying to get 6 to there, if they're showing life, they're cheap. I think it's a lot better field now. Not to say, hey, we can go play 6 and 7Ks all day, every day. But I think the gap if you take the top 20 in the world ish out of it, they're just a different level. the gap from 21 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 125, I would assume that I think that talent gap is a lot closer than what it used to ever be, is kind of what I'm saying. Sweet 16 as usual, three I like, one bubble boy, each salary range that gets a 16. A fade of the week, sleeper of the week, gut filled plays, betting, top 5 the pop and 2 long shots by Monkey Knife Fight. Then we'll kind of wrap it up and get out of here. Be back later today for deep dive into this tournament. 9K and above off the hit. I like Cantley. Just been playing extremely well. Came off his long break and got a 4th at the Tournament of Champions. He's played here twice. He's got a 9th and a 2nd. Just not much I hate about it. I'm not going to overthink that one. I'll be interested to kind of see where ownership goes. We'll get to Rahm in a second, but I like Cantley and Rahm a lot this week. I think they'll be up there, and both have had good runs here. I just mentioned his. Rahm's won here and got a 6th the last time he played. Next up for me, Sung Jae. I'll go back to that this week. Burned a lot of people last week with the miscut. I think it was his first miscut. I think I saw Kenny saying like 16 tournaments or so. He's played here 3 times, a 12th, a 10th, and a 12th. Solid history. Before the miscut, he had a 19th at the Houston Open, an 8th at the Tournament of Champions. Stat-wise, he's top 5 for me. Bermuda putting, he doesn't rank as high as what I would have thought, but assuming we kind of get a low ownership off of his miscut last week, I really like him this week. I don't mind going back there. Gooch is a guy I'll go to. I really think he's going to be one of the lower owned in the 9,700. I think people were, and we had this a little bit with Burns last year. When I hit the Burns outright, like most people had kind of got off him, but it was like, I'm not ready to pay 9,700 or a 30 to 1 for Gooch. Didn't shine much last week, but finished 27th. So his last 3 tournaments, a 1st, a 15th, and a 27th. Like I said, made 4 straight cuts here. Finished well the last 3 years. So I don't think the Pro-Am stuff bothers him at all. I don't think hardly anybody's going to be ready to click a Gooch at 9,700, especially with, Seamus Power, who's kind of the DFS darling right now, right there. Corey Connors is cheaper. Answer, who's probably going to be a darling this week. All these guys are cheaper. I'm going to go to Gooch. I don't mind paying up for that. Low owned. I think he's on a mission this year. I've talked him up a lot, not bouncing off that. My bubble boy is Rahm, and it's strictly going to be ownership. I think he'll be massively owned, but 36 hours from now, if it's looking really close between him and Cantley, I don't mind going Rahm. I don't mind playing both and kind of missing the rest of them. I think they're a little bit, above Scheffler, Finau, and then even some of those 9K stuff. But I do think he's going to be extremely popular this week. So we'll see how that plays out. That's the only reason he's on the bubble boy for me is where do I have to make some fades or go light on this week. 8K for me, I'm going to start with Luke List, 8,000. Rarely play him. We know the putting is going to be an issue. But he's coming in with good, not good, I would say good form when he played. He finished 11th and 10th his last 2 tournaments in the fall. Obviously, his first one back, maybe a little bit of worry there. He's one of those guys that's hit or miss here. Last 6 years, a 6th, a 41st, then miscut. Then last year, a 21st. So definitely a yo-yo type roller coaster for him. Everything else checks out. I like it a lot. 7th in good drives, 42nd birdie or better, 35th in accurate approach. I like that he seems to like this tournament. He's played it 6 straight and coming back. So I'll go to him at 8,000. Vegas, 8,100. Missed the cut in 2016. He's made 4 straight cuts with an 11th and a 34th in there. Again, another guy that finished well in the fall, 26th at the Houston Open, 12th at the RSM. 10th in stats for me, 14th in recent form. He's 5th in birdie or better, 19th in bar 5 DK, 6th in accurate approach, 24th in good drive. Gotta love all that. I love the price. Likes in Vegas this week, 8,100. CH3, I'll go right back to him. We know he gets talked up a lot at Sony. Kind of struggled. I think I saw a few tweets Thursday night. Is this going to be the year he finally misses the cut? Gets up Friday, storms up the leaderboard. At one point, I think he was top 5. He finishes 36th. Last 2 years, he's missed the cut here, but before that, starting in 2016, 11th, the 12th, the 20th, the 34. Stats isn't going to overwhelm you, but we know he's been working on his game. We know he's trying to get there. 8,000, I don't mind it. I don't know how many people go back to it. I don't think he'll be too high owned. 24th in my course fit rating. Yeah, I like it. I like it at that price. I don't know how much 8K I get this week, but he's definitely in the mix for me. Bubble Boy is Norin. We've seen him start to do better at some of these easier scoring. He's played here twice, a 14th and a 40th, so he's made the cut both times. Played at the RSM, missed the cut, hadn't seen him since. He's a mixed bag on the stats. Some really good, 15th in birdie or better, 91st in accurate approach. I don't necessarily fall in love with that. 37th in good drive though. Yeah, made the cut here twice. I think he likes the place. Bubble Boy, only because, I mean, I don't like him any less than the other guys. Hadn't seen him since the RSM where he did miss a cut. Maybe that, is the only thing. I think he'll be going to the radar anyways, but he'll be there in the MME pools, consideration for me for sure. 7K range, Buckley, 7,200. Absolutely love him. Have already bet him. There's your free bet of the week. I'll be releasing more of my card later on. Loved him last week. Played him a lot in Showdown. Like a dum-dum, I did not play him Sunday. I saw our boy Samson did go back to him Sunday. I talked him up a lot in the articles. He finished 12th last week. Just another young buck last week, no pun intended, but very limited sample, but second in stats, 5th in recent form, 7th in Bermuda putting. Obviously never played here, so there's a little concern, how does he's one of those guys. We don't know. He's going to play every time he can play right now, but he may play this thing and go, man, this is miserable. We don't know that, though, so I'm just going to roll with it. Next guy, similar, Alex Smalley. Loved him last week. He bit me. He was in my bullet. Miscut. Had a 15th at the Houston Open. Has not played here. Stats look solid still. 8th in opportunities inside 18 feet. 7th in accurate approaches. 21st birdie or better, 27th good drives. I like all that. He's above average in par 5 DK scoring as well. A little bounce back week. I'm not going to go off him. Still cheap enough, 7,200. I'll have some Smalley again this week. Taylor Moore, first time we're seeing him this year on this calendar turn. Played him a lot in the fall. He had a good fall. Finished 8th at the RSM. Another young guy. I'll go back to him. Hasn't played here. There's a lot of those guys this week in the 6K range though, that we just don't know. So just gonna have to roll with it. Love the price. I love a lot of these 7,000, 7,500 guys this week. Bubble Boy is Shank. No real reason other than one has to be a bubble. Decent here. Miscut to start and then 67th, 14th, and 37th. Those 3 straight made cuts. I like that. 29th at the Houston Open. Did shake off some rust last week at the Sony. Maybe he's ready to go. We know he can get hot with the putter and make a run at things. 7K is a great price. He's 9th in accurate approaches, 22nd, 36th, and 38th in the other stats for me. So he's top 40 or better in all the key stats I'm looking at. He's 40th in Bermuda putting. So at that price, I love him this week. Only reason Bubble Boy, maybe he gets talked up. I know at times he kind of catches fire. I doubt it, but I'll play him with any of those other 3 7K as well. 6K range, Davis Riley, I'll go back to him. 20th last week, miscut at the RSM, 29th at the Houston Open, 23rd in Bermuda putting. I like that. 17th in stats overall, $6,800. All we need here, especially in this type of field. Get it to Sunday, and we're good to go there. And I like his young career. Won't be leaving that. Swafford, played him last week. I'll go right back there. Another guy, 4 straight years, 56th, 1st, 29th, 65th. Last 2 years, miscut here. One of those roller coaster guys. Last 3 tournaments, a 35th, a miscut, 48th last week, but he climbed up there several times. He just, couldn't put it all together and finish strong, but $6,700. I love that. He's top 30 or better in every stat I'm looking at. 8th in accurate approach, 14th in birdie or better. Pretty much comes down to the putter for him. Can he get a good putter? I hadn't looked deep dive yet to see if the years he missed the cut was at putting. That's one thing I'll take a look at. But again, 6,700. I just need him to get to Sunday, and I'm doing all right. Ramey, he's had 3 straight missed cuts now, so I'm not as high on him, but I'll still go there. He's stat-wise, he looks great. Midfield on putting, right, almost dead middle. Good driving seems to be the deal. Can he get off the tee box? Other than that, he's 11th in par 5, 16th in birdie or better, 2nd in opportunities inside 18 feet, and 21st accurate approaches. So get himself in position here. I don't think you're going to have to, bomb it here a lot. Maybe we get things turned around. A little worried about the consecutive miscuts now as what kind of trend we're on. But again, last week was his first week back since, November or whatever. So I'm not going to, just jump off him quite yet. Duffner, $6,600. Bubble Boy. Only reason why he's Bubble Boy is I could see with the win here and some decent course fit, he could get kind of popular at 6,600. I don't really want to eat too much chalk down here in the 6K because there's plenty of options, but another roller coaster here, right? First, 25th, 36th, 55th, and then 2 missed cuts in 2019 and 2021. Third in opportunities inside 18 feet. For him, putter. He's 103rd in Bermuda putting. Can he get it going? $6,600 though. I'm willing to take that chance. Fade of the week for me is going to be Answer. Probably dumb, I know, but he just hadn't looked the same. Just watched him last week. I know he missed the cut. I'm not off him because of that. I don't mind going back to Sanjay because he missed the cut. 35th at the TOC. I was almost dead last. Great history here. After he missed the cut in 2016, made the cut but finished 76th in 2018. Then he's been on fire, 18th, 2nd, and 5th. So I could see him coming up here and doing well. But I think he's going to be extremely popular and talked up a lot at 9,200. So that's the only thing here. I like other people around that better, and I'll probably pass on that. Unless, we get to tomorrow night and everybody's passing on him, but I don't see that happening. Sleeper of the week, it's early. It's hard to judge this. I used to try to do the percentage and all that, but we're so early. I just kind of get, a name that pops out to me early on. For me, it's Ortiz. Hadn't played in a while. That's probably my one fear. Missed the cut way back in 16, but he's made the cut the last 2 years. He's 8,200. Don't see anybody going there. I think he's going to be extremely low owned. 15th in good drives, 28th in opportunities inside 18 feet. Just okay. I mean, below average results here. So again, it's a sleeper. Someone that I think I'm higher on this year. I think he can have a really good year. I do worry about the rust, and this is an MME type stuff. Big field. No one's going to be there. We may get him 2 or 3% type stuff, especially at that price. He's kind of priced up. So he kind of popped out to me. Gut feel plays of the week. HV3 has not had the best results here. But if you go look, it's not as bad as it looks. He's had 4 missed cuts, but then he had an 18th in 2019. I really think he's going to have a great year this year. He's on the verge of finally getting inside the top 50 in the world. He needs a good start to the season. A little worried about him. I know that when he shakes off rust sometimes, but again, it's a gut feel play. $7,600. I don't think he'll be owned that much. So I don't mind going there. Wolf, another one. I don't think many go there. I think he's $9,300. I don't mind taking a stab at him. He's made the cut twice. 11th at Houston Open when he played, looked pretty good there. Again, he'll be a low owned 9,300 guy. We can take some action there. Willie Z. He's just, we'll see how he comes in this year. I obviously a big Willie Z guy. I love him. Want to see him do well. I think he'll, we always talk about the putting for him for sure. Bermuda, I believe, is his best splits. Had a lot of time off. So that's probably the only reason, especially 9,100. I don't, feel as good to go back there. But, I'm interested to see how he plays when now he's done with the whole weird year he had last year that he had to win to capture all his FedEx stuff. He would have been top 20. Now you just go play, right? You're in it. All your FedEx starts from day one. I don't see many going there at 9,100. So he's a guy could be a leverage play. And then KH Lee, I kind of like he's a lot of roller coaster for him in his career, but he's been fairly consistent here, especially with the win last year. 33rd at the TOC, which we know that's not great. Made the cut last week, 48. Shows signs. He's not priced up too high, 74 and a bucks. 9th in par 5 DK scoring, 23rd in accurate approaches. He missed a cut 3 years ago, then a 21st and a 32nd. So played better once he got used to it. I like that as well. He's my final gut feel play of the week. Top 5 the pop and 2 long shots, monkey knife fight. Link is in the description. Click it. Use the code GUPS, GUPS. Dollar for dollar match up to $100. I'll have my plays out tomorrow on that. And then obviously I'll keep doing NFL while we have that going. Top 5 for me, I like Sungjae right now, 20-1. Wolf, 25-1. Noren, 50-1. Scheffler's right there on the bubble, 25-1. And then Gooch, I think some of these guys are going to shift. And so I hadn't bet a lot. I've only bet one, really, Buckley, I talked about. I've seen him as best at 35. I wouldn't mind seeing him flirt down to a 40. So I'm kind of waiting on that. May hit it at 35. We'll see. 2 long shots. The one I already gave you, Buckley. You can get it as high as 150. I've seen 125s as well if you kind of miss that. And then Taylor Moore, 100 to 1. Both those guys will be, in the realm for me of potential either top 5 or top 20 bets as well. One and dones, I will list I forgot this last week, completely my fault. I will list so what I'm doing is I'm listing my 5 favorite plays of the week, of which I'll take at least 3 from in my personal lineups. I will do that on the Wednesday Cup with Gups, the final thoughts. So I will have that for you guys tomorrow. Looks like Kenny Kim is good to go. I know the storm has hit there. We'll see if he has internet to do a little E9, break it out first time this week. Probably look, mid. People seem to like the early afternoon last year because we could post it and people go back and watch it whenever they had time. So, maybe like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. I will update you guys on that as I get confirmation from him and see if his internet is back rolling. Don't forget, Smash 20% off, includes a 7-day free trial. Later today, I'll have the deep dive thoughts on this tournament. And then tomorrow, I will have my final thoughts out as well. Looking forward to another great week. A little bit of I don't mind this tournament. I know some, it's kind of goofy with the 3 rotation, 54 hole cut, but prize pools are still there. And we have enough history definitely for sure here to watching it can be a little different. I'm interested to see how ESPN Plus, does it give us a little bit better feel of it all. They did like their soft trial in Hawaii, but a lot more to be had over here starting this week from what they said. So that's exciting. Big UFC pay-per-view on Saturday, NBA Daily, and then, of course, NASCAR right around the corner. Big divisional weekend. Should have 4 great games before we get to Championship Sunday next week. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys later on this afternoon. Thanks.